Hello everyone, and welcome to another segment of Love Food to the Food That Loves You Back. My name is Linda Powell, and I love food. I love all the greasy foods, the ooey gooey foods. So my intention is to enjoy good foods, but to create healthier versions of those foods. Today I'm going to focus on the healthy hash brown. I know you're saying it can't be done. Well, hey, I'm going to try my best, and I think I've come up with it. So I'm going to make a hamburger patty to have a hamburger with the healthy hash brown. Now, when I cook hamburgers or sandwiches, I always use the whole wheat thin bread, where it's only 100 calories, and look at that, it's a sandwich. So that is to come. But again, today we're going to concentrate on the healthy hash brown. First thing I do is I use real potatoes. Now I'm using 2 small red potatoes because this portion is about 120 calories per serving. You can also use the white potato, and you can use maybe a medium, and that will be 120 calories. So what I do, I like the ones like at Waffle House. So I cut up my potatoes. As you can see, I try to get them as thin strips as I possibly can. And if you don't want to use the knife, you can use the food processor. I don't really like using the food processor because I love touching my food. I think that's love when I put my hands in my food and cook that way. So I'm slicing all of these up as thin as possible. Alright, we got some here already pre-sliced. I've been slicing before I started. And I also sliced some onions, and I want the onions in strips as well, so that it can be uniform with the potatoes. And I just slice them up. Then I'm going to use just a little olive oil in the skillet here. Ooh, that's probably a little too much. I didn't mean to put that much. Let's see. We're going to get rid of some of that. You just want a real little, just a thin layer of olive oil on medium heat. I don't want to use too much oil because that's the whole goal, is to cut back on the calories and use a fraction of the oil that you would use in deep fried hash browns. So again, slicing them as thin as possible, and you have the onions and the potatoes. So I have these all sliced. The heat is preheating there on medium, and then I want to kind of incorporate your onions and your potatoes all together, like so. You see you have onions, and you see you have the thin slices of potatoes. Sorry. Okay, and we're on our way. And we put those. You hear that sizzle? That's what you want to hear. All right, the onions and the potatoes. Oh yeah, because you want to get like a crispy out exterior of the potatoes, so they'll be crispy outside and tender inside. All right, look at that. That's coming along pretty good there. Okay. Get all that in there, and you let that cook on medium heat. Come back, potato. Get in there. All right, so you hear that all frying up, and you let that do its thing. What you want to do is let it get brown on one side, then you can start flipping them over to get brown on the other side. So while that's cooking, I'll start on my burger. I have lean ground beef. Now, when I go to the grocery store, there's 3 different percentages of ground beef. You have the 23%, turn it off, I couldn't hear myself. Okay, you have 23% fat, and I don't know if that's the ground chuck or what, but either way, it's 23% fat. You can see it on the labels. Then you have one that's an 8% fat, which is a real lean ground beef. Then you have one in the middle of the road around 17%. It's on the label, it's mostly ground round. I use the 17% because I have to have a little fat throughout my ground beef because that's flavor. So, I use my trifecta, and my trifecta is seasoned salt or seasoned off for my seasoning. Again, if you have high blood pressure issues, watch your sodium intake. All right, then I use my garlic powder, not garlic salt. All right, and then fresh ground pepper. And put that on there. And I hear that those potatoes are sizzling with those onions. And again, I like putting my hands in my food, so I mix all of that up for my burger. Then I want to cut up some onion also. I like onions in my burger. So I want some little diced onion to go in the mix. Dice that up and then mix that in the burger. Again, you know me, I like filling my food. My hands are clean, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, just make sure it's all seasoned well, because last thing you want is an unseasoned burger. I'm going to check my potatoes really quick. All right. And just to show you how it's looking in the pan there, they're sizzling. All right, let's see if we can kind of mix them around. You hear that? Some are browning. Yes, that's what you want. It's that browning. And let me see. Oh yeah, that crispy exterior of brown. And let that continue. This is just a sample. See how the outside of that potato is brown, and then you have the tender on the inside? That's what you're looking for, the browning. And let that continue to brown. All right, and we're going to still make sure this is seasoned well because I've mixed it through. So I want to kind of like getting the other side. And you know how you want to season your hamburger, so you don't have to follow me. You don't have to use these exact seasonings. You know what seasonings you like and how much, so you go for it. All right, so I got it all mixed up, and I just want to make me a nice sized patty here. All right, that's coming along. Make that like that. Looks like I got enough ground beef here for 2 burgers. Maybe a large one and then a small one. All right, so we have that coming along. I still hear that browning over here with the potatoes. All right, it's steady going. Let me check it. All right, it's still working. Also, while it's cooking and they're getting tender, it's the perfect time to add your seasoning. I only use salt and pepper on potatoes. So I got my fresh coarse salt. And I use sea salt. And then I have my fresh ground pepper. And I just kind of press it in there, make sure that the potatoes are getting really, really well. So we're just going to let that sit there. I have some extra onions here. We'll put that on the burger. Alright, and we'll just keep watching them. Now what we're doing, we're going to continue to let these brown on each side. Probably about maybe 5, no longer than 10 minutes. And after that, after you start seeing the browning and the tenderness, you finish cooking them in the oven. Oh yes, I see brownness. And you start flipping some through just to get to the other side. Oh yeah, I see it coming along here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, you can see where some of them are getting brown there. So that's what you're looking for. So at this point, I'm going to let them continue to rotate through for brownness. You don't have to have every one brown. But when you see a good consistency of brownness, that's when you want to put it in the oven. And I have the oven preheated to 400. And then you put the potatoes in the oven and let it finish cooking off that way. I'll show you how they turn out when we come back. Hello, and I'm coming back. Okay, I had to put a little more oil into the pan because as I was stirring them through, it was just bone dry. So I just put just a little more in there, so I didn't go over a total of 2 tablespoons total of oil. So it's not a lot of oil, but I just wanted to put a little more in there. I put it in the oven uncovered. And voila! They are all brown. So, to show you how we look in here, look at those. Now this is hash browns. All browned and tender. The crunchy on the outside, tender on the inside. Watch out, Waffle House. Scattered, smothered, and covered. And you probably could put you a 45 calorie slice of cheese on there and let that melt. And you can smother, cover your own. Healthy hash browns that love you back. See you next time on another segment of Love Food to the Food that Loves You Back. Thanks so much for joining me.